cozy. Oh, my little guys. Why can't he? Now let's go fuck up some lantana. I got attacked by a swarm of bees. Big pillow. Such a win because we're adopting a puppy, as I think I mentioned. I'm so excited. Oh my God. Music lesson, self-care. Because you know tetanus is in soil, hey? It's not in... I always used to think it's in rust. Like, this is pretty cool, but yeah, anyway. Howdy ho. So, May. Oakley tokedy people. So for the last month we weren't in our bedroom because we had family visiting. Loki was very put out by the fact that he didn't have his own bedroom. And he had to move with us like on couches and mattresses and in tents and in spare bedrooms. And then today we moved back into our bedroom and I think he's pretty happy about it. Good morning. Welcome to May. This month's vlog is going to be more cohesive. That's my intention. So today I'm going to, there is a local health center. It's like a health retreat center for people with burnout primarily and like other diseases that they need to heal from. And it's all holistic, using like meditations and yoga and Reiki and massage and healthy eating and a whole bunch of holistic and alternative medicines and healing modalities. So today is World Labyrinth Day, May the 4th. Oh, I think it's May the 4th. Is it really? May the 4th be with you. I nearly did that, I'm sorry. May the 4th be with you, my dudes. Blessings. Oh, I follow 1000 Jess Carp and Kipso on YouTube, and they're having a big meetup today, and it would be really cool to meet them all. Manifesting that one day I will be on a level of existence where I get to meet them. But yeah, today is May the 4th. It's World Labyrinth Day, and St. Francis Health Center is hosting a labyrinth walk. Oh, look who's here! Hi, dude. It's Loki. This is my son. Yeah, so that's what's up today, and we'll just have to see what May has in plan for us, because I don't really have any plans for this month other than hello. So I just got back from the labyrinth walk and it was really special. I think at the end of the April vlog I was reflecting on how I'm coming into a space, a time and space in my life and in my journey where I'm learning to trust myself and to be authentic to myself and to take the steps in alignment with my soul and where I feel my soul is being called. And I realized that's what the labyrinth is all about, because I didn't know this before, but now I know, is that the path inward into the labyrinth is the same path outward. You go inward and then you are in the center and then you go back out the same way. And there was times where I was walking and I was like looking ahead and trying to figure out how the pattern worked. But from that perspective, I couldn't really see how the pattern worked. And I realized I was just like, okay, well, you're not going to go wrong because there's only one path. All you have to do is just follow the path in front of you and you'll be fine. And it was like this cool practice of surrender and trust and faith in the process that I had stepped into. And I just had to take each step at a time and trust that the process would unfold for me and that I couldn't get lost because it's not a maze, it's a labyrinth. There's only one path. So I found that really potent and powerful. And as I spiraled in, I was like reflecting on my childhood and my youth, and on how that shaped me as a being. And then I spent time in the center. There were 6 little nodes, and they were for mineral, plant, animal, human, angelic, and the unknown realms. And I spent time in each node just meditating on those elements and on those entities and those concepts. And then I spiraled back out, and they kind of evolve within themselves. It's like mineral, plant, animal, human, angelic being, and beyond. It's like kind of how evolution works in the hierarchy of existence. It's not really a hierarchy. Even that's what I reflected on in that. Like I was sitting in angelic and unknown, and it's like this highly evolved state of being, but it's unknown. Like the next step of unknown is almost like the atomic level of minerals again. So it's this like ongoing, ever-going evolutionary cycle. And then I walked the labyrinth back out, and at that point I was like looking forward to the woman that I feel myself becoming at this point of my life, and the woman that I see myself becoming in the future. And I felt quite confident, and I felt very calm and assured, and that is the energy that I am calling in and stepping into at this point in my journey. There's a whole bunch of things that I've wanted to do for a long time, and in the past they almost seemed like they would never happen because they were like these huge hurdles or these huge aspirations that I never saw myself being capable of achieving or surmounting. And now, as I was reflecting after the walk on all of those goals and aspirations, I was just had this sense of course. Of course that'll unfold for me. I'm putting in the work and I'm taking the steps, and the level of confidence that I'm reaching at this point in my journey, those things no longer seem impossible. They seem inevitable, which is awesome. So yeah, I really, really enjoyed that, and I love that last month ended with like reflecting on this, and this month has begun with this process of spiraling into it. Excuse me, I need to sneeze. This is Dora. Good morning. Good morning. Hi, Dora. How are you? How are you today, Dora? I didn't bring you any food, sorry. Oh, she's got a hat on. Dora! You're wearing your sun hat. There you go. Promised you an apple today. I think your hat has fallen off a bit. I'll try to fix your hat for you. There you go. Now you put your hat on nicely. There we go. Howdy ho, my smelly toes. We're back on the plot. Today I'm chopping lantana for a fucking change. This stuff is a real fucking invasive shit. excuse my swearing. It's just this. It's funny because it's actually quite a beautiful flower, and it bushes really nicely, but it's super thorny, so it makes a good hedge. So we've got lantana hedge all around the property, but it's kind of like that dragon serpent thing that Hercules had to fight. Like when you chop off one head, it grows back 7. And we were here a few weeks ago and we chopped it all, not all of it, a lot of it, and it's just come back stronger and bushier, lusher. So it's just something you really have to keep up with, and we need to actually get the roots out, which we will do. We just haven't had the tools or the time to do that. So yeah, I'm here fighting the good fight again, chopping bushes that I've already chopped before. These big piles here, it's all just one bush in the video, but there's a pile there and there's this groot pile here. It was all here. Pretty creepy working in such long grass. But yeah, just gotta listen to my intuition. Whenever there are snakes around, I have a strong sense that there are snakes around. So, but you never fucking know. They could be right there. Heard something. Monkeys are here. Oh, monkey neighbors. Look at the lovely kind of plants we get in the Eastern Cape. Isn't that so beautiful? Wouldn't you love to have that growing in your garden? Rude. Oh my God. In a tree. So thorny. Get off of me. Pretty good day's work, if you ask me. I've decided to stop because I've opened a flesh wound. Got a nice blister forming here, so decided to call it a day. We keep fighting the fight. See, this is the stuff. You cut it there, and it'll just grow back like a beast. I feel like Prince Charming cutting through the thorns to get to the castle when I cut lantana, because it's so thorny and so bushy. Anyway, good day. This morning I'm just busy making a little, my partner's got a bit of a chest, so I'm crushing up some leaves that I got from the tree, what is it called, eucalyptus, also known as gum, the South African, Vicks fix's main component is eucalyptus. It's really good for congestion. Yeah, so I'm just making he's going to steam with it to loosen up his chest and his head. Adding some peppermint oil, because obviously mint is also very good for these kinds of ailments. I need 2 drops because it's very strong. Oh, that was 3. Is it too much?
Yeah, strong.
There's only 1 extra drop. I'm trying out a recipe I found for vegan, gluten-free flatbread. See how it goes. So it's onion, rice, flour and chickpea flour and a little bit of water. And I think I added some coconut oil. There you go. So it's honestly completely gluten-free. Yeah, I'm having this hot. Welcome to my garage. So I'm here in the garage, I'm just having some lunch, and then I think I'm going to try organize it a bit because I'm really feeling the need to just have a personal creative space. I'm just craving my own desk, so I'm just gonna move some things around here and kind of set up a little bit of a temporary art studio space that I can utilize when I feel like just having a bit of alone time and focused creation time. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do now after lunch, and then I'm going to spend some time in the garden because I am frustrated and I need to have some garden therapy. So I need to move this rubble, and then I need to get the computer desk out, and then I need to put it there. So what just happened there was I accidentally swept up a spider slash, like we call them, daddy long legs. And it was like completely stuffed up and suffering, so I killed it. Which is something that I've thought about often, like when I'm working in the garden and I accidentally kill a bug, or you know, like when it's raining and you accidentally stand on a snail. It's such a horrible feeling. And it's definitely something that I try to avoid as much as possible. But I've also like come to believe, I definitely believe that death is a part of life, and I don't think that anyone should be malicious. And I mean, I'm a vegan, so I don't contribute to like killing animals and agriculture and stuff. And I'm definitely like not out to kill bugs. But in my veganism, I've come to accept the natural cycle of things, and that when I'm in the garden or I'm in like doing this kind of thing and I accidentally cause harm, injury or death to like another being, I accept it as a part of the path, as a part of the passage. And that's what I mean when I say death is a part of life. I don't mean that we should go out killing each other or that animals are here to be killed for consumption. I mean that inevitably the end the full circle of life is an ending, which then leads to a new beginning. It's the death cycle. A huge part of the life cycle is death. So, like Kali, the female counterpart of Shiva, she's like this embodiment of destruction and chaos. That's the kind of destruction and chaos that I believe she is. Like when humanity has encroached on nature and then there's like a violent natural disaster, or like when I accidentally kill a bug, like I see that as like a violence that is a part of nature. Just like how a lion has to kill its prey to eat, I feel that those deaths are a natural part of the life cycle. I believe that there's a lot of death that's unnecessary and unnatural and inhumane, but when deaths do organically and naturally occur, I acknowledge them and I do my best to just let them be a part of nature. So yeah, I killed a bug now, but I did it to put him out of his misery because I had injured him to the point of no return. And welcome to a mind that never stops thinking. That's like what's constantly going on. Those kinds of things are constantly going through my head when I'm sweeping the floor. Hello, welcome to my garden. So, this is my tripod setup, by the way. We're having a time. So, whenever you see me crouching down in those time lapses, it's because I'm busy pulling. So this is the lantana root that you have to get, otherwise it just comes back stronger, as I've said. So whenever you see me squatting down in these time lapses, this is what I'm doing. Finding the roots and pulling them out of the ground. So sometimes I like to use my secateurs to cut the thick roots. Yeah, see what a mission each individual plant is to get out of the freaking ground. Okay, I'm gonna put you down, boys and girls. Oh, there we go. Those are the two roots that I was fighting. That's the one I cut. Yeah. Cut it, and now this is the like 7 heads that regrew from one cut. This thing is resilient as hell. Yeah, Adi and I cleared all this, and then we didn't manage to get the puller, the root puller, because our neighbour's daughter had been bitten by a puff adder and she had to take her to PE because we don't have a hospital with anti-venom in the nearby area, which is like super reassuring. Yeah, so I'm pulling the small ones by hand, but for the big ones, like this kind of situation, we're going to get the root puller, which is like an actual physical tool which hooks into the roots and pulls them, which I think is going to be quite fun. But yeah, so I've opened up a lot of space in the last 2 days. I'm pretty proud of my progress and excited and inspired to continue. Decided that this tree is coming down because it ain't no friend of mine. Look at this shit. Isn't that just so friendly and inviting? It's like a fucking giant thorn. I took one down over there. I can't say it was fun. I know this won't be, but forgive me for not wanting a giant fucking thorn tree in my garden. Blessings. once you separate apart, getting it out is so hectic because of how thorny it is. It just sticks to itself. That was close. Can you hear the whipping noise that the machete makes? Machete. It's actually a panga. Panga. We got the ugly tree down. That feels good. There's a few more of these around. There's one over there. But yeah, I think that's a day because the sun is now setting. I don't want to not be working in the dark. Ow. Grabbed a handful of thorns now. After kneeling in them. Oh, I'm loving having my own garden. It's gonna be next level when I have my own house. The light hits the pine forest. It's so beautiful. My camera doesn't even do it like 5% justice. Golden hour here is truly golden. Good morning, human beings. So it's a bit overcast today. It would actually be a very good day to be working on the plot, but I have very tiny wrists and they take a bit of a pounding when I work with the panga, and I think yesterday I was like maybe overworking a little bit. I should have stopped a little bit sooner than I did, and I have an old break in this wrist that gets injured when I do too much, specifically like gardening, like working with a shovel or a panga, or like the really hectic like goof goof movements. So my wrist is a little bit sore in here this morning, so I have decided to take the day off from the plot just to give my wrist some rest. So I just reached out to a local music teacher because I've never had music lessons. I did choir in school, and I've just kind of like sung in the car ever since school. Every time I'm in the car and there's music playing, I love to sing to it. And I love singing, but I'm not really confident to sing in front of anybody because I just do it for love and for enjoyment. And I stress about like competency and judgment and perception and all those human things. But I've also been playing guitar for a few years, just completely self-taught from COVID days. But I feel like I've plateaued a bit in my journey because I just feel like I need to learn properly, and like there's only so much one without knowledge can teach themselves. Obviously, it's entirely possible to like just learn on your own. I know a lot of the greats did, but I just feel like going for some lessons will really benefit me, and there's no harm in wanting help. This is one of my favorite songs in the world. They go by the Chicks now, but I knew them as the Dixie Chicks. I think they're being PC, which is all well and good for them. It's called The Long Way Around, and I resonate with it on a deep level because I've taken the long way around in my life. I definitely didn't take a conventional path, and conventionality, normality was just never really an option for me. Whether I wanted it or not, life was just like, lol, no. So I think I'm finally settling into and accepting the fact that my path is different, and I'm different, and that is a-okay. My friends from high school married their high school boyfriends, moved into houses in the same zip codes where their parents lived, but I could never fall in love. says it's been I say 12, because 12 years ago I had my cycling accident, my NDE, where I literally like smunched my prefrontal cortex. And it says it's been 2 long years now since the top of the world came crashing down. And like in my law, in Ashley law, the top of the world came crashing down, quite literally, like my crown of my head, in 2012, when the world ended, my world ended. So yeah. It's been 12 long years now since the top of the world came crashing down, and I'm getting it back on right now, but I'm taking the long way, taking the long way around, taking the long way, I'm taking the long way around. I'll just take my time, I won't take
Cute.
time. My God. I'll take you got it, dude. You always there. Well, I fall with a stranger and I got myself. I opened my mouth and I hurt myself. It can get pretty lonely when you show yourself. I guess I could have made it easier on myself, but I could never follow. No, I could never follow. Well, I've never seen you do it like anybody else. Maybe someday I'm gonna settle down. If you ever wanna find me, I can still be found, taking the long way. So that was like super distracted spacey version. But yeah, I'm just keen. I love recording processes and watching progress happen over months and years. So this is me on the 10th, 11th, 10th of May, 2024. Singing one of my favorite songs in the world. So let's see how I progress with that song over the coming months and years with having lessons. I'm currently 29. I'm turning 30 in September, and I only started my guitar journey in 2020. It's now 2024, and yeah, you're never too old to start something new. Don't think you had to do things as a kid. You know, capitalist society is so bullshit, telling us like we have to be good at things in order to make money, in order to get famous, and it's just like, my dream is to just be competent enough to express myself through music, because it's a medium that I really, really resonate with. It's brought me out of some of the darkest times in my life. It's helps me feel such joy and such peace and such euphoria, and it helps me process deep pain and anger. It makes me want to move, it inspires me, it gives me energy. I mean, music is magic, and I really dream of being able to wield that magic. So I am consciously putting effort towards learning the craft now. Yeah. Blessings. Hi. So today was Mother's Day, and I'm not a big one for like commercial holidays because I'm not aware of the effects that capitalism has on these kinds of days and how they're twisted for monetary gain. But obviously, when everyone is talking about their mums and reflecting about mums and motherhood, it gets one thinking, and I obviously just miss my mum a lot. So it was a beautiful day. We walked on the beach and did a hike I've never done before, and a place I've never been before, and I love going to new places. It was really special and really beautiful. But yeah, I was dealing with some heavy emotions today, and I just had a few really good cries, and I was a bit down on myself about like feeling a bit depressed, and then I was just like, you know what, that's okay. It won't always be that way. Yeah, and feeling is healing, so I just decided to allow myself to feel a bit cuck today, because it was cuck to have a momless Mother's Day. Fortunately, I have a lot of wonderful women in my life in other ways, and I've had a, yeah. Anyway, I had a good cry. You know, when you cry so much, you feel like exhausted. That's how I feel right now, but it's so good, so healing. So yeah.